delays, some days and days of delays, 54 Ukrainian children from an orphanage have finished their long journey to escape the war. This was them after they landed safely in the UK last night, waving and smiling, and rightly so.
They were helped to get here by Dnipro Kids, a charity put together by fans of Hibs Football Club.
Just fabulous seeing them coming down those steps of that plane. Joining us now is Stephen Carr, who's the chairman of Dnipro Charity, who made this possible and was with the children on the flight last night, along with Ian Blackford, who helped raise the children's plight in the House of Commons. Good morning to both of you this morning.
Good morning.
Stephen, how does it feel to finally have them here in the UK?
It's a relief. It's been a journey. There's been ups and downs. There's been times when we've questioned whether we were actually managed to get it done, but to get over the line was fantastic. I mean, the relief yesterday when we got them in, and they're now up in Scotland. We've got them in a lovely hostel up there. They'll wake up this morning with mountains round about them in the Trossachs area up near Loch Lomond. So it's just a fantastic feeling to eventually get them back here and know that they're safe, because there's still a lot of trouble going on in Ukraine. So just to know that we've got them here and got them safe.
And it is a wonderful story, but for each of them individually, it's an enormous change, isn't it? It's a removal from everything that they know. And but they have brought their carers with them, so they have that familiarity, don't they, of who's looking after them, the language and all of that. Just go back a bit. At what point did you decide you had to do this?
I've been talking to them, and because of the situation there, we're really worried about them. And I was saying to them, you know, it's time to evacuate, get yourselves out. But they didn't want to go. They weren't sure that there was a dangerous road to go through, that, you know, there was missiles and attacks, and where they were, they felt safe at that time because there was no trouble in the city. So they didn't want to go, and I just felt, how do I encourage them to get out and do that? And I thought the only way to do it really was to go there and show them that if I go there and show you that I get there, will you come out with me? So, yeah,
54 children of all different ages, some from 2. How old are the eldest children, Stephen?
Well, we do have some former orphanage children there that have come along. Yesterday, unbelievably, 2 managed to get out of Ukraine who weren't in our original group. The UK government and the UK embassy in Warsaw managed to get visas processed in a matter of hours.
Wow. So
that they could make that flight. It was unbelievable.
And Ian, for you had to get involved, obviously. Just tell us about your involvement in it. And also, you know, those delays must have been very frustrating, but in the end, obviously, it benefited a couple of other the ex-orphanage children, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think any of us were prepared to take no for an answer. I mean, I know the charity. I'm a Hibs fan as well. I know a lot of the people that have worked with Stevie over the last 17 years, because this has gone on since a football match in 2005. Yeah. And we were just determined that we were going to batter down the walls. And there have been some tough times over the course of the last 10 days, because I think it's fair to say that we didn't necessarily have the full support of everyone in the Home Office at a certain point. So my own office, we went to the authorities in Ukraine and Poland, and we got the authorisation. And I'm glad to say everybody did come on board. And, you know, when Stephen's recounting that story of 2 visas that were processed yesterday, and I think there is a wow factor for everybody knows how long these things can take, particularly in this context. But in a way, getting these children safely to Scotland, knowing that they will be safe for as long as they need to be in our country and they can return to Ukraine. But in a sense, this now opens the door for other vulnerable children to come here as well.
I think one of the things, Ian, you're the leader of the SNP in Westminster, of course. People at home will be going, does it take the leader of the SNP in Westminster to make this happen? Should this be that hard for the thousands, the tens of thousands of refugees who are desperate to get here to the UK, particularly children?
No, it shouldn't be. But at the end of the day, I mean, I've got a voice, I've got an office. Yeah. And I have to say, there was the Immigration Minister and the Refugees Minister, Lord Harrington, I have to say, is someone that I've known a long time. We've worked together previously. And he was as determined as I was to make sure that this happened. But we've created that template. And I need to make sure that all of us now are working with the Home Office. And when you think about, like, you know, there are 10 million people that have been displaced in Ukraine. There's going to be a lot of vulnerable people, a lot of vulnerable children. We now need to make sure at pace that those that need our sanctuary... We know people right across these islands want to create homes where it's necessary for those that need sanctuary.
And
so we now need to get on and do it. We've done it. That story of 2 people having their visas processed yesterday, I'd prefer...
Shows it can be done, right?
Yeah, I'd prefer we weren't processing visas. I'd prefer we were getting people here and doing the paperwork. But we are where we are with this stuff. Let's get on, because, unfortunately, this conflict is here and now. We can all see the devastating images of what's happening in Mariupol. They're really distressing. The 100,000 people that are there. We're going to have to make sure that all of us are doing what we can to support people. And Dnipro Kids, the charity, the football club, my goodness, really, what an example they are.
Stephen, how will the community now, you know, resettle this group of young people into the community? I mean, the schooling, you know, how will you do it?
At every stage of this journey, we went in, but people asked me, what was your plan when you went in there? There was never a plan. I've been winging it from day one. And the thing is that the response from everybody involved has been absolutely phenomenal. Anytime we've ever needed anything, somebody knows somebody and somebody stepped up to the thing.
So what's the next plan for them? Because obviously they're now in safety, but they'll need a lot of help.
I mean,
medical support, psychological support, education. All of that has to happen, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and that's all in place. The local councils were on board with this straight away. So the health, the care, everything like that is all in place. Whilst it was frustrating whilst they were in Poland waiting to get them over, but during that time, it gave us that opportunity. Edinburgh Council, the accommodation,
and the local
support
community.
package.
I think individuals.
Yeah, I've had the local community contacting me as well.
We're out of time, unfortunately, Ian. It's an amazing thing that you've done, Stephen, and we look forward to seeing what happens with the children and them waking up this morning. Just so thankful for what you've done and in your support as well.
Yeah, it's wonderful.